live session, and there would be a developer who will take your interview, associate or a developer, and he will ask you about two DSA questions, which would be range from medium level. There would be medium level questions. It would be easier if you are
सर
lucky, but yeah.
सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्टिंग,
Sorry,
शायद आवाज़ नहीं आ रहा है, एक सेकेंड.
sorry, मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही है क्या?
No, sir, I guess there's a problem in the live.
Okay.
Really sorry, sir, for the inconvenience.
No worries.
I guess they resolved the issue, so we can continue with the questions.
Okay. So yeah, I was speaking about my journey, my interview process, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the interview process is initially there would be a online examination. There would be 20 aptitude questions, which would be relatively medium and average level questions. After that, there would be English based questions, and which will be also MCQ level. And after that, there would be two DSA level questions, which will be relatively easier. After that, you will have a live round, like technical round with uh, a developer or associate developer, and they will ask you medium level questions from lead code. There will be two questions asked. I was asked a medium level string question and a medium level linked list question in the first round. After the first round, you will, if you process or complete this round, then the next round will be taken by a senior developer, and that round would be a little bit difficult because they are senior, and it could also be a team lead or someone. So they will ask you a little difficult questions, like lead code hard level questions, and it could include like sorting, views. It could range from strings to trees also. So they asked me question which was related to queues, I guess. It was a lead code hard question, and it was a little difficult. But I was able to solve it. But my solution was not much optimized, but it was also a good experience. And after that round, it generally gets over for developers. After that round, either they pass, and after that, if they pass, they will go to the HR or managerial round, and there they will ask them some management questions. But for me, it was a little difficult, uh, different, not difficult, different. They After this, they sent my resume to the PNI team, which is their product and innovation team, because my resume was aligned towards AI and ML. So they gave me a different role, and after that, I had three more interviews. One was the initial interview where they just had a normal discussion with me, and after that, they provided me with few tasks, which was uh, for AIML related tasks. They gave me a few Python codes and SQL codes because data scientist is a role which requires these skills. And after I processed these tasks and gave them that in a weeks or 2 weeks time, there was again an interview, which was a technical interview, and it was very difficult. They asked me trees and graphs question, but I was able to do it confidently. Actually, it was the CTO who was taking this interview, the Chief Technical Officer, and he was in US based, so it was at night time near about 8 or 9 p.m. After I crossed this interview, their vice president took my interview, and it was also sweating interview. But nevertheless, I was confident and I was able to crack it. And after that, I had a managerial round with their MD, and I cracked this role for myself. So that's how the journey was. But for general developers and QA or other roles, there are basically three rounds only. Yeah.
So, sir, we listened that you had so many rounds, there were so many interviews and all. So, how you did your preparation journey? Like your
Yeah.
projects,
Okay.
they must have talked about your projects, they must have talked about your things you did. So, what were all those you did in your college?
In the initial round, they don't ask me from my resume, but from the second round onwards, they were asking me from the resume what I have created, like my projects were the main focus, and I created all the projects are machine learning based. So each of them, the stack, the tech stack follows is Python, and it has a framework either Flask or Django. And based on that, there are many machine learning models such as Stable Diffusion, RNN, ResNet 34, and these are all different kinds of models that I've used across my projects. So they asked me about each of the models, and they ask the theoretical questions like why you use this model, why its accuracy is required, how much accuracy is required, how much for the data set. So they scrutinize me on all the projects that I created. So the projects that you build are really, really very important, and they make the impact. Because of my project only, I believe I was able to crack the interview. And yeah, so my preparation journey, I would say that initially I focused on creating projects, and before my interview, for 6 months or 1 year, I grinded DSA because if I was not able to clear the DSA round, I would not have been able to go to other stages. But DSA is very important and it is very, very crucial to crack an interview. So my preparation journey included DSA. So from where I did DSA, I used Striver's A to Z sheet. I would suggest you should also go there. It's a very curated sheet. It has nearly 250 questions, but they are all in different kinds of questions, not repeated questions. So it gives you a idea of and the range of how various can be the question and what you should learn. Because in lead code there are thousands and many questions. You can't do everything. So I
Yes.
streamlined my journey and I went with this A to Z DL sheet that Striver has created, and it's really good, top notch, I would say. And talking about projects, you build it by learning. I told you the first project that I had, that is the big project I have, it is of my hackathon, national level hackathon, national agrotech hackathon that I created with my team. It was a plant disease recognition model, and we built it on Flask and used ResNet 34 as the machine learning model. It is just a single part of the project. It was a big project with many machine learning models included, but this was what I worked on. Other teammates worked on different parts of the project. So yeah, that was my preparation journey. And project making is the learning process. What I learned, I create a project on it. Whatever concept I learned, I try to create a simple project, basic project, so that I can understand what it is and how it will impact.
It's truly inspiring, sir. So I'll ask Ramansh, my co-host, to continue with the sessions and questioning.
Thank you, Kushi. So, sir, as someone with a 4-star rating on HackerRank, what tips would you share for consistently improving competitive programming skills?
We are talking about CP. CP is a very different topic from the technical interview part. It's like you are passionate about coding, DSA, and you go in that line, CP. CP is very different. If you are trying to achieve mastery in CP, then I would suggest you to go with other C++ language. It's the best for CP. And talking about how I did, I used to participate in contests. Contests are the best source to understand and to perform, like the CP was saying, competitive programming, right? So if you want to improve your CP, you have to participate in contests because there only you will face the time-bound situation. It also mimics the interview situation. Interview also you get nearly 1 hour to solve a question, but in CP you have to solve four questions. Yes, in contest there are four questions, and you have to do something. Yes, I will just suggest it that consistently improving your contest scores and your rating in leadership and understanding the problems in the each of the contests and improving yourself is what I would suggest to improve your CP score. Yeah.
So, sir, do you recommend building strong fundamentals like data structure first, or starting with for directly?
Sorry, can you come again?
Okay, sir. So my question is, should we first focus on the strong fundamentals like data structure, or should we start solving the questions directly? Like it's theory
Okay.
first or learning by doing?
Okay. So see, you will require a basic understanding. First, the theory of basic understanding is required. Like what is Q? If you don't know what is Q, you won't be able to solve the questions of Q. So first, initially, for like 7 days or 1 month, try to understand each of the simple data structure, like what is tree. If you don't understand what is tree, you won't be able to solve any question. So first of all, yeah, you have to understand what is it, and then only go for problem solving. But when you are trying to do problem solving, like you understood what is queue, right? What is LIFO, FIFO, everything. You understand queue stack, and now you went to problem solving. But when you're trying to do problem solving, you're just reading the problem, and then you're directly going to the solution, and you say, yeah, yeah, I will do like this, and it will happen. That way, you won't be able to learn. But when you are applying the knowledge, you have to understand the question and try to solve it yourself, even if it takes 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, even a week. But when you will solve this by yourself, you will feel that yes, I understood this and I could do this again if it is given to me. But if you try to learn it like notebook theory, when you are solving the questions, I'm saying not about the theoretical point of view. You have to understand the data structures, and then only you can try to solve the question. You're getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So, yeah. So for the audience, theory is also as important as the like learning by doing. But there should be a balance between the two. So the next question: how do you integrate design thinking into coding, and give your like share your experience in graphic design and content creation?
Yeah, I did a few courses from Coursera in my first year only, and that included the Google UX UI course. It was a phenomenal course. I understood how to create the front end, the UI, UX, and it's very interesting. Like, if I would have not been a data scientist, I would have been a UI UX developer. Yeah, it's very cool topic. You create the frameworks, you understand the design and what the client wants. You understand that thing by understanding the design perspective, because what we do in the back end, that is not being seen to the client. What the client was is a very cool and fancy website with transitions and all, charts, everything. So by understanding the client's perspective, the requirements, you are able to build a better model in real world. Like, I'm creating a machine learning model, and I am not thinking about what the client wants. I just created a machine learning model and it shows something up. It predicts something which the client even did not want it. So understanding the requirement is the very first thing which I learned from graphic designing and UI UX courses that I did. So when you understand it, then you will think of the like what I can do in my machine learning model that can benefit the client. So this gives me a client first idea. This is what I try to integrate in real world when we solve problems. First get the requirements, try to integrate my domain knowledge, what I have, and how I can make it more and more helpful for the client.
Sure, sir. Okay, moving on to the next question. What are the key technical and soft skills employers look for in fresh graduates entering in the field of AI and data science?
Okay, so first I will say like what the employers look at the freshers, and then I will go into AI and ML.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. So first thing that the employers want is curious mind, learners, great learners. Because see, you have a tech stack, you learned React, suppose, and then they saw you, and but when you come into a company, you are not given a React project, you are given a .NET project or some other C# project. So that time they would see like how fast you can learn and implement that logic. So they want is a person who is dedicated to lifelong learning, who can learn new skills and upskill himself really fast and also apply those skills. So they want this in the technical manner. Like the employer wants that you should be technically sound and you should improve yourself also. This is what they want. And for the soft skill part, they want you to be confident in your what you are saying, and you can present what you want to say like in a clear manner. You should able to formulate your words and be clear like what is the expectation. You should match the expectation. So they want you to be clear and confident in what you say, and yeah, that's what is required for normal fresher. Talking about AI ML, I would say they want is like basic understanding initially, basic concept that you have for AI, ML, deep learning, neural network. You would have a basic overview, NLP, large language model, and everything they want is the basic things that you have, and you could implement it. They don't want anything hi-fi like you should build a machine learning model from scratch, anything not like that, but you should have an understanding of it, like how it's built theoretically. So that's what they want. And also machine learning and AI is a growing field. Every day new model comes up, every day something new happens. So it's lifelong learning, I would say. What they want is someone who is a great learner and who wants to improve himself and then implement it. That's what the
Sure, sir.
employers.
So, sir, what are some common tools and resources one must use for learning AI, data science, and machine learning?
See, for how I learned is initially I went with the library textbooks, but after some time, and you have to after some time after learning from those, I understood that they are not properly providing me what I want, and it's also very time consuming to find those resources. So, if you want, you have many GPT like Chat GPT is there. It's a very good learning resource. DeepSeek is there. So you could use them as a learning tool, right? If you want to learn any subject, you could go and just type it and ask him provide you with the resources. It will provide you with great resources. So now anything I have to learn, I just go to ChatGPT or DeepSeek and any LLM model, and they are like best resources. But sometimes they also lack what a human might say or do. Like they are bots. At the end, they are bots, right? So I tried to after that I tried to go and research and read research papers which are published by Lu Wang. Lu Wang is a great AI ML enthusiast, and he is greatly known in the AI ML workspace. So there are many researchers who produce new research paper, and I try to understand the research paper. If I am unable to understand those papers, I ask GPT to simplify it. That's how my learning process is. I try to research it, find the research topics, everything that's available in the internet. Now you can learn anything for free, right? You just have to have the zeal for it. You find the resources. YouTube also provides various influencers are there, but I generally avoid them because they are sometimes distracting. You go to YouTube, start watching something, like you said, machine learning. Somebody is teaching something on machine learning, and then you see another shorts or reel, and then you start scrolling, and then that doom scrolling happens. So I avoid to go to YouTube and Instagram for learning. But if something is new and it's happening and it's not available anywhere else, I totally go and watch YouTube videos. I would suggest, but first you should try to suggest and find resources offline, and then go to Google, and then only go to YouTube or other influential people. Yeah.
I hope the audience find it useful. Now, handing it over to our host.
Thank you, Kushi. Uh, Mayukh sir, as AIML student, many of us often get confused about which programming language to focus for placement. Some prefer Python for its simplicity and relevance in machine learning, while others suggest Java because of its use in interviews and coding round. Since you have worked with both Python and C++, what helped you to decide which language to go ahead during your placement journey? And what would you recommend for students who are just starting to prepare for their technical roles?
Okay. So you have to understand that DSA that is asked is not language bound. It's I will give you an example. DSA is like maths. Like maths is there. You can do maths in English, in Hindi, in French. Everywhere the concept and the logic will be the same. Like one plus one will be two. If you do it in English, in maths, or in Hindi, in any other language. So it is not language bound. Everybody has to understand this. That DSA is not language bound. DSA is completely different topic, and the language is your preference. Whatever you want to do, whatever you can speak properly. Like right now, I'm communicating with you in English. You're understanding it because you also understand English. But if you start communicating with in Japanese or French, you won't be able to understand it. Same thing happens in the interview. Like the people who take your interview are a older generation. They're 10 years or 20 years senior than you. So initially in their time, Python was not that relevant. So they used to do their coding in C++. plus plus. So they are used to it. If you code a C++ plus plus in your interviewer, they will understand it much better. So you have to understand. But right now it is not the case because many developers are also learners. So they have to also learn different kind of languages. So if it is a good interviewer, he will understand that what is the logic behind the DSA that you are implementing, not on the language. In some cases there might be chances that the interviewer says no, you cannot code in Python because of its simplicity, because there are pre-built models in it. Like there is sort technique. If an interviewer asks you to sort a queue or something, if you're using direct sort keyword, it is just nullifying the process. So that's why they sometimes say that don't use Python. But even if in Python you are writing the full logic and and telling them that how you are solving this question, they will totally agree with you. And language is not a problem. Whatever language you start your journey with, you can use that for solving DSE. I use Python in everywhere. I use Python because I am very very confident in it and I am very comfortable in it. So even if the interviewer, but for DSA rounds, I would not just blindly go and start coding in Python. First, I have to talk with the interviewer and understand their requirements. Like what is the time complexity? What should I do if any edge cases are missed in the question? And then only I start building the answer, not in any language, but the logic. I explain the logic, like how I will solve this problem to the interviewer, and after that only I start building my answer in any coding language, be it Python, Java, C++. It does not matter, because if your logic is correct, your code will also be correct. It's just a matter of syntax. So, right? If you're comfortable with Python, I will say go with Python. If you're comfortable with C++, go with C++. But yeah, for CP, I would suggest go with C++ because it's a little bit faster. But then also Python, for Python compilers also there are separate timelines in there, so it doesn't matter in CP also as well. But generally most people prefer C++. So, but for DSA purpose, I'm saying language is not bound. You can use any language. But for CP, there is time complexity and all. So C++ is a little better, but Python can also do the same. No worries in language. You can use any language. For my understanding and experience, I would suggest go with the language you are comfortable in. I am comfortable in Python. I go with Python.
That's a very nice answer, sir. So, when you think back to your final year, is there something you feel you should have started earlier, like learning a skill or preparing a certain way? What advice would you give to a final year student who so they don't miss out on something?
Um, See, I got my interview means I cleared this Cogitate placement and internship in third year only. So fourth year I was doing internship. So I would say that try to enjoy your college, man. Don't miss out on college. I only went for college for like 2.5 years or so. Yeah. After that, I just went to give examination. So relish the moment, enjoy your life because soon the college will be over. So I would say that enjoy your life, man. Enjoy college as much as you can. And talking about preparation journey, I would say start doing DSA as early as possible and start solving as much question as possible because it gives you clarity and you understand many different ways. Yeah.
So, as you mentioned that you got an internship on third year, so there are many students who didn't get this kind of great opportunity. So, how can a student with no internship experience approach placements and still create a strong resume?
Yeah, I understand that I was privileged. I got this offer from college only. So talking about if you want to make impact and want to break out, like create and find some good internships, start applying online. There are various sources like Internshala is there, and in LinkedIn also build networking, build network, start networking, and build your portfolio. You have seen my LinkedIn. I have near about 10,000 followers and connections, so they can provide you support, you know, and start to showcase what you have learned. Like initially in my first year, whenever I learned any new concept, I tried to write something about it and post it on LinkedIn, whether it was significant or not. But I was reaching out to the audience. So they know that I am someone who is understanding and creating something on his own and trying to showcase it to the world. So you can also apply in LinkedIn also. There are many opportunities. You can get internships and better internships than what I got. So yeah, there are people who are doing internships in Europe, in USA. You can get externships from applying on LinkedIn. Just or you can do your research, and there are many other websites and start doing freelancing. I also started doing freelancing on in second year, but it was not so great. I would be really, really, really be truthful to you. That freelancing, like people say that start doing freelancing, you will earn a lot of money. It's not like that. Getting a single client is very difficult, and after that, that client has a lot of requirement changes. Like he would give you something, you deliver it, but then he's not happy again, and again the changes and all, and he's not paying for it. So yeah, freelancing is a good way to earn extra money, but I don't see myself capable of doing it. But because freelancing is very difficult, getting clients and all those stuff is a very rigorous process. But if you are talented enough and you can make your word out and you get many clients and all, freelancing is also a good source of income. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
that would my
So,
advice.
like you are in a very good company right now. So, what projects you would suggest your juniors if they also want to be in a position like yours in the future?
The projects, I would say that, see, I was inclined and interested in AIML, so all my projects included that. Even if I created a simple website, I would try to think like creatively, like how I can integrate something AI in this. Like I can integrate a chatbot, suppose, or a summarizer. Like something is there, you have written a blog post. At the end, there is a AI summarizer which summarizes this, or at the front. So this way, you can think of simple projects and then add your own creativity into it. Don't just create a simple clone of Facebook or Netflix. Try to add something in it and and create your own product. Like if you are trying to create a WhatsApp, don't just create a WhatsApp. Create something extra in it. Give it a unique feature, and then name it something else. Also, don't say that I created a clone WhatsApp. Give it a name, a unique name, and your own branding in it, and try to think of not as a project. Think of it as product, a product that you can sell. Think it like that way. That way, you will also be attached to your project. Like if I could sell this, how much, like how happy my customer would be, and how much I can make with it. Initially, I was also not thinking like this, but as I learn and understand, create projects that add value. Don't just create projects to, like, yeah, you can create projects to understand topics like initially, but don't add them on a resume. Add projects which are relevant and they add value. Like I created a project which was a it was a freelance work, I would say, where I created a menu for a restaurant chain, and they could open it with the help of a QR code. Like they would scan and they could get an interactive menu, and they can order from there. So it also gives you experience like how you can create things. It also gives you exposure. So yeah, create projects that create impact, I would say.
So, like, I listened to all your things that you said till now. So, I'm thinking, what inspired you to do all these things, so many great things in this field? Like, what is your inspiration?
I would say my inspiration is my mother, my mom. Yeah, whenever
That
I
is so nice.
I feel low or anything, like everybody has that syndrome. Like I also get imposter syndrome sometimes. Like what I have achieved is nothing comparing to others. I call my
Yes.
mom, and then she gives me some galis. ये कुछ नहीं करता पढ़ ले ये ले वो, and then I feel happy. Like yeah, she is my inspiration. She motivates me, and yeah, I talk to my mother whenever I feel low. So you can say my mother pushed me. She was only who told me to not drop a year and go join LNCT. I was like I could give a drop and give JE again. But my mother was no, don't waste a year, go to LNCT. I listened to her. Whatever she says. Also, when this offer came, I was like, should I join this? Will it be good? My mother said, just go, get out of the home, just leave. Yeah. So yeah, whenever I feel low, I just talk with my mother and everything. I believe that talking with her solves my problem. So yeah, you
So
can say
that's
inspiration, everything goes to my mother. Yeah.
that's truly a very wonderful thing. So I'll pass the session to Ramans to continue with the questions.
Thank you, Kushi. Uh, Sir, as we know in today's scenario, uh, how impactful are formal certification, participation in hackathon, and completion of online courses compared to hands-on projects? And additionally, please suggest some strategies which can help to increase these credentials and maximize employability and technical credibility.
Okay, so let's break your question. First, you're saying that certifications, how is it impactful? So, see, doing countless certificates on Coursera won't be very good for you. You should only do a certificate if you want to learn something, and don't just put it out in the resume. Like you did some certification from Salesforce, and you are right, and you're posting it in your resume, and then somebody asks you something about Salesforce, and you don't know anything. That would give a very very wrong impact. So I would always suggest that if you don't lie, and but if you are lying, you should also know how to cover it up. If you are posting something in your CV resume, you should also back it up with the knowledge. Don't just write things up. Like if you're also doing any project, just don't. If you have not even created that, you should understand what it is, and then only put it in your resume. I have seen many resumes. They have a big project, something like follow this and that and all. And then when I asked something, and they were like, "No, sir, I don't know anything. I don't even have created it. It was my friend that created it. I just put it in my resume." This should not happen. If you are lying, lie with a backup. And talking about certifications, try to do it if you want to learn something. Like I did the graphic designing course, that UI UX, because I had interest and I wanted to learn. Even if I don't went on that field, it gives me a creative edge, an idea about what it is, how it happens. It helps me today also. Like when I create a backend model, I could also suggest how the front end should look. But I cannot develop it, but I can suggest that this should be there, like UI UX should be like this, would be better. So this gives you edge. And certifications also provide like a stamp, like you have this knowledge, but this proves that you have the knowledge. Good certifications. And I would suggest that if you have the money, go for good certificates that are provided by Google, and Red Hat also provides cybersecurity certificates, which are like $200, which is expensive, I know, but you also buy iPhone, MacBook, yeah. So you could get this. You can get these certificates if you are really curious, because these certificates have a branding, and they create a stamp that you have understanding of this. And these are not very very easy certifications. Like Coursera certification, very easy. Anybody can have this. But the Red Hat certification, cybersecurity, and the certification provided by Google, they are very good certificates, and they cost you money, and they are very difficult to crack. It's not like you give money and you will get a certificate. You have to go to like ion centers, and then only after passing only you get certificates. So those certificates will create a little impact. Not like yes, you have certificate, you will get this job. Certificates only create a little impact, and that too after the technical rounds. In the HR round, you can leverage that I have these certificates and I want to improve my, like whatever CTC you are providing. I have the certification, and you I think that I should be even more. You are lowballing me, something like that. In technical rounds, it is they don't see the certificate. Just see your raw skill, what you have, and that can only be shown by projects. So, and also understanding the projects, not just writing anything in the project. So how you will understand these projects? By participating in hackathons, I would say, because hackathons give you like another environment. You meet different people there. Like there are people in hackathon who are on another level. Like in my hackathon, and you also code there. Like in night also, when everybody is sleeping, some teams are sleeping. You will see some teams who are constantly coding and trying to build something more. So I saw this, and I was also coding the whole night. But like all the improvement, they said that our project has this lacking and that, and I tried to improve it the whole night. My team also supported me. But yeah, we won't own it. But the experience that you get is very, 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 very out of the world. You would say you will meet people, you will experience a new thing, and after that, 1 day or 2 day, you will be like, just I want to go home and sleep. Even if I don't win, I'm happy. I just want to go home and sleep. But if you win, it's like another level. Like SIH hackathons are also there. So participate in hackathons just for certification, or just saying that I participate in hackathon, I would suggest you should not do that. But if you want to learn something, you want to experiment, you want to have adventure, then participate in hackathon. It is a part of life. You should enjoy it. If you are not participating in hackathons, you are missing out something. So I would suggest that participate in hackathons, not just for certification or for showing in the resume, but to learn something and implement it. Even if it is not helping you right now, it will help you in the future. That's what I'm saying. The projects are very important. Projects are like number one priority. Even if I'm not able to do certification, please create good projects, I would say. And yeah, I told you about certificates, which certificates are impactful and which are not. So that covers up. And what was the last part? How can you repeat again the question?
Uh, okay, sir. What are the strategies to improve your credentials for employability and technical credibility?
Okay. So I would say whatever you do, post it on LinkedIn instead of posting on Instagram your images and all. Post your post your whatever you are doing achievement in LinkedIn and create a network out there. You could also contribute in open source project like GitHub. You can go there and there are open source projects. You can contribute in them, and those contributions are really very meaningful. And yeah, participate in Kaggle and all, and just post them in the LinkedIn and create a community. That way you become more employable. That's what I say. The strategy. Stop using Instagram. Start using LinkedIn.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really insightful. Now, coming to the next question. How can one balance building domain knowledge like AIML while strengthening core fundamentals like data structures and algorithms?
Yeah. So you have to balance it out. Initially, I know you have semester exams and some exams. So you have you have to understand that what is the requirement and work accordingly. So for DSA and all, I would say initially, if you are not close to your interviews and all, just do weekly, participate in the contests, and light view on the DSA, like 1 hour in a week or 2 3 hours in a week, not 1 hour, 2 3 hours in a week, and participate in contests. That way, you can balance out the DSA part. For AIML or the domain knowledge, you should you should it's a how can I tell you, it's like a long journey. You cannot build a big project in 1 day, so you have to consistently find out time in between your college, your DSA, and start to build something creative and a big project. Start with small projects, create a project and give it 10 like 45 minutes 1 day, 2 hours on the weekends, 10 minutes. Even if you give 10 minutes to a project that you are building, like some bug, something, create a front end 1 day and create a project. Like this way you can increase your domain knowledge by creating projects. Don't just mug up the things that you learn in the college. Try to create project, I would say, and that's how you can improve your domain knowledge also. So I gave gate when I was in second year. So that way I my domain knowledge increased in, I can say, like by preparing for it. I prepared for it for like 3 months, and then that those 3 months my domain knowledge increased very much. So that way you can balance it out by creating a project and working on it weekly, be not weekly, daily on it project and weekly on DSA. That way you can balance it out.
Okay. So, sir, should students start with DSA before diving into AIML, or can both be learned in parallel?
Uh, See, this depends on person to person. Uh, DSA, if it depends. If you are doing DSA just for placements, I would suggest so do it before placements ना. मतलब 6 महीने पहले पढ़ोगे placement के तो भी DSA हो जाएगा. But AIML is a very, I have interest on it, so मैं पढ़ता हूँ AIML. अभी भी बहुत चीजें हैं that I don't know. So yeah, I try to learn AIML every day. But DSA मुझसे अभी भी नहीं होता. I stopped doing DSA. It's very hard. After getting my job, मैंने एक साल हो गया. I haven't done any DSA. I should do DSA. It's not like that. You should do DSA, but yeah, DSA is hard, I would say. And creating, like, you will do DSA right now, and before the placements, if you are not doing it, you get a break in the DSA, then you might forget things and stuff, and it becomes very difficult. So I would say prepare DSA before the interview, and rest you have very much time. College में इतना time कुछ नहीं होता college में. You can you can start building AI/ML on your own. You don't need faculties. You can start doing yourself. Just don't go college. I'm saying don't tell anybody, faculty. A little amount of attendance is required. Have a rapport with your faculties. tell them that, sorry sir, please not, हो जाएगा, चलता है, and start building something on your own. That's what I would say. And DSA आप placements के पहले करो. That way it is better in my approach. But there are few DSA freaks who love DSA. The DSA ही उनकी जान है. So they do DSA every day and every single day. I'm not saying them that they are wrong, but it is just my saying that you should do DSA if you are trying to crack placements. Just do DSA 6 months or 1 year before the, and the rest of time try to integrate all the knowledge, domain knowledge, create projects, GitHub, create LinkedIn, have explorative, explore yourself, and before the placements, go for DSA.
Thank you, sir. Like as you mentioned about DSA and AIML, people easily feel burnout. So how you used to handle these burnouts?
Yeah, burnout is real. I know
Yes.
that sometimes after doing the same thing and not able to understand things, just like क्या है, छोड़ो ये सब, चलो party करते हैं. So yeah, I know that burnout is real, but I would suggest like go watch something good. Like you don't have to do DS every weekend. Plan one weekend in your month that you would treat yourself good. Go buy some ice cream from Naturals or anything, and have some good food. Have call your friends, enjoy for 1 day, and next day start again. Because if you break, I have seen it that if you break your daily schedule and go something out, your body feels like, oh, this was very good. We should all do party every day. But no, you should be focused, like consistent and focused and discipline. Discipline is what will help you in your life. So being disciplined is must, and try to create a discipline in it. And every once in a while, go and have chill out, man. Go chill, बस chill करो, सो जाओ. अगर सोने में मजा आता है, दिन भर सो, कोई चिल करो. एक दिन पूरा चिल करो, एक महीने में एक दिन निकालो, चिल करो. कुछ नहीं होगा एक दिन में. That's my.
Okay. So that was a valuable perspective. Thank you, sir. Now over to you, Kushi.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such valuable insights. It's been truly enlightening so far. Now, let's bring in our audience. We'll take a moment to look at the questions from the live chat and continue the conversation with some of their thoughts and curiosities. So, our first question is, any upcoming projects or goals you are excited about?
Yeah, my company is creating AI agents. So maybe I would get to create few more AI agents and learn something about AI agents. AI agents in boom. The next wave is creating AI agents. AI agents is something that can replace a developer. What a developer is doing, a agent might be able to do it. So we're trying to understand how we can implement this AI agents, and because creating AI agent is a big task, it 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 requires large amount of money resources. So we have to build something which is economical, feasible, and can replace a developer and do their manual work. Like suppose a bug comes up and a developer has to look on the bug and then find out a solution and then create the changes on the code. This whole process can be automated with the help of an AI agent. So I'm very like intrigued to understand and create an AI agent of myself. So this is the next big move I'm excited about.
So, next question is, what advice would you give to a young student?
बहुत बेग क्वेश्चन है. एडवाइस तो बहुत दे सकता हूँ मैं, बट advice I would give is become a good human and try to learn as much as you can and also chill out. That's एक ही बार जिंदगी मिलती है, चिल करो.
That is very true. Can you share a memorable experience from your career?
Uh, right now my career is only like 11 months. Memorable experience is, yeah, I met the CTO of the company, and he was a very influential figure. He is he lives in US Atlanta. He came here to just meet with us. And it was a memorable day. He took us out. We had a pizza party. He gave us insights on what's happening in US, what's the next wave. Like right now, it's a little bit down everywhere because of Trump and all. But things will change, and in AI, there is many things happening outside that we don't know even yet, and everything is happening. So it was a memorable day to interact with such influential people.
Okay, another question is, how do you handle failure or rejection without letting it define you? Like without.
Uh, it's quite difficult for me to handle rejection or failure because I have never failed in any class, I would say. But sometimes setbacks come, like I was unable to get IIT. I would be straightforward with you. So it was a very big setback for me. But my motivation is my mother, so she helps me out. And from failures, everything. So it's quite difficult for me to handle it alone. So I try to avoid failures, but without failing, you don't learn things. I failed, like initially a project came and I was unable to give it on time.
Hmm.
So yeah, failures come in life. Handling it is still I am trying to understand how to handle it because it's not a big deal. Like that thing was not on my part that I failed that I was unable to give it on time because the timeline was given so short that even a senior developer could not complete it. So it was not on my behalf, but I think that it was my fault. I was unable to complete it. Sometimes it's not you that because of it is there are many external factors. You're unable to clear an interview. It's not because of you. It may be the interviewer was not in a mood. Maybe he didn't like your face. Maybe he had a fight. Something. So हमेशा खुद के ऊपर मत लिया करो. ये मैंने सीखा है कि sometimes it not you. It just happens. So let it go and move on. Something big will happen to you. Just think that good thing is coming. Yeah. भगवान ने एक दरवाजा क्लोज किया तो बाकी सारे खोल देंगे.
That
Yeah,
is very true. That is very
your
true.
life is not an end. There are many ample of opportunities. Even if you don't get placement, you could get other careers. You don't have to become an engineer if you want. You could become an artist. I wanted to become a artist, a beatboxer. But things happen. Life happens. So yeah, just move on. कुछ दिन के लिए बुरा लगेगा. After 1 month, you'll feel हाँ कुछ हुआ था. After 1 year, क्या हुआ था? It goes. Time heals everything.
That is true. That is true. So we are done with our live chat questions. I'll ask Ramans to move the session forward.
Thank you, Kushi. Great question so far. Now let's shift gears and lighten the mood with a quick rapid fire round. Sir, we will throw some quick and engaging questions your way, and you have to answer them as fast and spontaneously as you can. So, ready, sir?
Okay, ready.
Okay. So, the first question coming to your way. What's your go to resource for learning new tech skills?
Chat GPT.
Okay. Code at night or morning?
Night.
Okay. What's the biggest challenge in competitive programming for you?
Hmm, time. Time complexity and time.
Okay. What's one skill every AI engineer must master?
Mm, deep learning, no, maths.
Maths. Okay. Okay. That's great. What's the last movie or series you binge watched?
I don't watch much movies. I watch anime. I watched Sakamoto Days, if you know. And yeah, the
Okay.
movie, latest movie of Ajay Devgan, it came. Raid 2, yeah.
Great. Okay. Okay.
It
Right.
was great movie. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Okay. Most favorite hangout spot on campus?
कैंपस तो इतना घूमा नहीं, बंक कभी किया नहीं.
Okay.
Yeah, favorite spot is that वो जो चौराहा है ना जहाँ से कैंटीन स्टार्ट होता है and this side our main
Yeah.
building is there. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that area
Okay.
and the ground in front of IT building.
Yeah, that's a beautiful spot. Okay. Now your ultimate comfort food during exam week.
हाँ एग्जाम के टाइम पैटीज एंड लस्सी from canteen.
Okay. So, if your college life were a movie or song, what would the title be?
This is difficult. Uh, the adventures of a mystic guy.
Okay, that's great. One subject you pretended to understand in class but never really did.
I understand pretty much everything, but when I don't understand, I just pester or ask the faculty. ऐसा कोई सब्जेक्ट तो था नहीं या डिस्क्रीट बहुत
Okay.
मुश्किल हुआ समझने में. I have to give my own efforts after class also. and NLP. तो मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आता था. I have to come again and understand myself.
They
Discipline
are
and
indeed
everything.
difficult, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so favorite sport to watch or play?
Sports. I like to play football, and sometimes I watch football also.
Okay, sir. That's great. Now we are done with our rapid fire round. We are heading toward the end of this session, and before we close, we would love to hear one heartfelt piece of advice you would leave for your juniors.
Uh, एक ही लाइफ है, खुल के जियो, ऐश करो, और क्या बोलूं. या
Oh, that's wonderful.
थोड़ा
Yeah,
बहुत पढ़ाई कर लिया करो, सीजीपी 8 के ऊपर रखो, एंड हैव अ बेसिक अटेंडेंस 75 बोले तो थोड़ा बहुत कर लो यार, हो जाएगा, सबका प्लेसमेंट हो जाएगा, चिल करो.
that was great. Okay. Thank you, sir. Handing it over to our host.
Thank you, Ramanj. As we have come to the end of this inspiring session, we would like to thank you once again, Mayukh sir, for sharing your journey, your wisdom, and your honest insight with all of us today. On behalf of the entire corporate club and the training and placement cell of LNCT, we are truly grateful for the time and energy you dedicated for being here. Your words have not only motivated us but also given us a clarity on what to focus on as we are also stepping into our placement journeys. We wish you continued success, happiness, and endless opportunities in your ahead career. A heartfelt thank you to Dr. Anuj Garg sir and Pushpang sir for making this session possible and continuously supporting initiatives that help students grow beyond the classrooms. Until next time, keep learning, keep evolving, and never stop being curious. Thank you once again, sir. We hope to stay connected and keep learning from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to you for
Thank you, sir.
amazing session. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.